We celebrating 50 years of hip hop, right? We celebrating 50 years of hip hop. We celebrating 50 years of hip hop, right? I support that. I'm a child of the hip hop generation. I grew up listening to hip hop. My uncle was a DJ. I still remember him spinning the Sugar Hill Gang record. I remember all that. I grew up in it. I grew up in it. Many of you, you grew up in it. You in your 40s, you grew up in it. You grew up in it. 50 years of hip hop. I salute all the veterans. I salute all the pioneers. I salute the progressive artists. But let me say this. Are we going to sit here and act like? Are we going to sit here and act like hip hop has not contributed to the mass incarceration in the black community? Are we going to sit here and act like hip hop has not contributed to the black on black crime in the black community, brothers and sisters? Are we going to sit here and act like hip hop has not contributed to the conspicuous consumption that dominates black America? I haven't heard a single serious conversation about the positive and negative impact of hip hop on black America. When we gonna have that conversation? I'm talking to the pioneers of hip hop. I'm talking to the leaders of hip hop. I'm talking about the influencers of hip hop. I'm talking to the artists of hip hop. When are we gonna have a serious black community conversation on how hip hop has helped, how hip hop has contributed to black on black genocide? When we gonna have that conversation? When we gonna have that conversation on how hip hop has contributed to the mass incarceration of the black male? When are we gonna have that conversation on how hip hop has contributed to the sexual objectification of the black woman's body? When are we gonna have that conversation? When are we going to have that conversation? Because I'm gonna say this right now. I'm talking to everybody in the hip hop community. And let me say this. Hip hop is only a subsection. It is a piece. It is a branch. It is a part of African culture. It is not the sum total. I want to be very clear. Hip hop is a branch. Hip hop is a piece. Hip hop is an aspect. Hip hop is a subculture of African culture. It is not the whole thing. You could dismiss hip hop and you still have black culture. I want to be clear. Our culture is much deeper, much greater, much wider, and much longer than 50 years. I want to be very clear about that, because some of you who don't know your history think hip hop is the only culture we have. I beg your pardon. I beg your pardon. I beg your pardon. When are we going to have a serious conversation about hip hop? Let me say this to BET, and shout out to Tyler Perry. Shout out to Tyler Perry. I'm going to give my big brother Tyler Perry a shout out. To go from rags to riches like that, to go from sleeping in his car to being arguably the most powerful black man in the history of black media. Tyler Perry. Maybe second to Bill Cosby. He may not have eclipsed Bill Cosby yet, but he right there knocking on the door. So shout out to Tyler Perry. My only hope and wish for brother Tyler Perry. My only hope and wish for brother Tyler Perry, now that you own Tyler Perry Studios, you own BET, you own VH1. My dear brother Tyler Perry, I salute you, my brother. You are a shining example of what a black man can be, and you married a black woman and you have a black son. I salute you, Tyler Perry. You did not go bunny hopping. You found you a black queen. Salute to Tyler Perry, brothers and sisters. Salute to Tyler Perry, brothers and sisters. Salute to Tyler Perry. But Tyler Perry, this is your big brother, King Kong Consciousness. I know you know who I am. I know you know who I am. Y'all all know who I am. Every last one of you know who I am. My only wish for you, Tyler Perry, my brother, you got to give us some positive content. Tyler Perry, I'm putting pressure on you right now. You have to give us BET woke. Give us BET woke. Give us a channel with nothing but black consciousness movies, and not just the oldies, Tyler Perry. You need to produce some new ones. Where that Marcus Garvey movie at? Where that Haitian Revolution movie at, brother? Oh, yes. Where that Mary McLeod Bethune movie? Where that Ida B. Wells movie? Where that Denmark Vesey slave revolution movie, my brother? Tyler Perry, I don't expect you to do all this overnight, my brother. I know you got responsibilities and obligations more than most of us. But in order for me to put you on my very short list of greatest black men of the 21st century, you're going to have to evolve that content, my brother. I know you can't go straight into black consciousness, but give us a BET woke, my brother. Give our children a BET baby woke. Nothing but positive black cartoons, positive black sitcoms, positive black dramas, historically accurate black movies and miniseries. You can do this, Tyler Perry. You can do this, Tyler Perry. You can do this, Tyler Perry. I'm going to give you some time, my brother. I know it ain't easy. I know you got bills and obligations and responsibilities and commitments. I'm not trying to tell you what to do, good brother. But I'm saying, I'm looking at you as being possibly one of the few black men I could put on my list of 21st century greatest black men, movers and shakers. Tyler Perry, I'm looking at you. You could go on that list. You could go on that list if you do that, my brother. You already giving black people jobs in the entertainment industry. I see you, Tyler Perry. I salute you, Tyler Perry. But can we please get some woke content? Can we please get some black consciousness, my brother? Tyler Perry, hit me with some black consciousness. That's all I'm going to say to Tyler Perry right now. Let my brother live for a moment. Shout out to Tyler Perry. Keep doing what you're doing. Black wife, black son, black owned media. Come on, Tyler Perry. Give us some woke consciousness. Give us some woke consciousness. Give us some woke consciousness. But let me get back to this 50 years of hip hop. There needs to be a series of town hall meetings discussing the positive and negative impacts of hip hop on black culture. No, hip hop did not create the violence. Hip hop did not create the misogynistic culture around black women. Hip hop did not create the sexual objectification of our black queens that goes back to slavery. But hip hop damn sure glamorized it, motivated it, and popularized it. Let's be honest. Hip hop did not give birth to mass incarceration. Hip hop did not give birth to mass incarceration, but it damn sure glamorized it and popularized it. Hip hop did not give birth to drug dealing and drug selling in the black community, but hip hop did popularize it and glamorize it. Hip hop did not create black on black crime, but it damn sure glamorized it and popularized it. When are we going to have that conversation? When are we going to have that conversation? Don't let 50 years of hip hop, don't let this year-long celebration go by. Don't let this year-long celebration go by and act like the net gains of hip hop exceed the net losses, because I would agree to disagree. Don't let this whole 1 year long celebration of hip hop go by and try to act like the net gains of hip hop to the black community exceed the net losses. I completely disagree. I believe hip hop has been more of a detriment than a benefit to the black community. I'm not talking about our pioneers. They were not gangster rappers. I'm not talking about our pioneers. They were not gangster rappers. I'm not talking about our pioneers. They were not gangster rappers. But if we are going to be honest, gangster rap has dominated hip hop at least by the mid-90s, brothers and sisters. Hip hop started in the mid-70s. Hip hop was dominated by gangster rap by the mid-90s. Can we be honest about that? By the mid-90s, hip hop was dominated by gangster rap. Thoroughly, there was a coup d'etat. There was a gangster rap coup d'etat in hip hop. Tell me I'm wrong. There was a gangster rap coup d'etat in hip hop. NWA hit us with Straight Outta Compton in '88. That was the beginning. but the coup d'etat didn't really hit until the mid-90s. By 95, hip-hop was totally colonized by gangster rap. That means 30 of the 50 years, hip-hop has been more negative than positive. I said 30 of the 50 years, hip-hop has been more negative than positive. I said 30 of the 50 years, hip-hop has been more negative than positive. Are we going to keep it a buck? 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 And then when you talk about the snow bunny crisis, look at all the non-black women who are in the hip-hop videos today. I'm seeing hip-hop videos with no African sisters. I'm seeing hip-hop videos with no African queens. I'm seeing hip-hop videos with no African goddesses. I'm seeing hip-hop videos with no African empresses. And then the hip-hop videos that do got black women in them, they are light, bright, and almost white. No disrespect to my African vanilla queens and my lemonade queens. I love all African women, no matter what the shade. But I'm talking about the discrimination against chocolate sisters, the discrimination against those deep caramel sisters. Hip-hop has pushed light-skinned supremacy. Let's not act like we don't recognize that. Hip-hop has pushed light-skinned supremacy. Don't act like we ain't recognized that. Let's not act like hip-hop hasn't pushed light-skinned supremacy. Are we going to live in denial? Because one of the problems with the American African community, one of the problems with the American African community, we are in denial about the role we play in our own demise. Am I right, brothers and sisters? Black man, if you feeling your brother right now, give me a black fist. Black sister, if you feeling your brother right now, give me a red heart. Black man, if you feeling your brother right now, give me a black fist. Black sister, if you feeling your brother right now, give me a heart. Are we not in denial about the role we play in our own demise? Is Black America not in denial about the role we play in our own demise? We always talk about what others are doing to us, but what are we doing to ourselves? We're always talking about what the government doesn't do for us, but what are we doing for ourselves? I would love to facilitate. I would love to facilitate some town hall meetings across this country during this 50th anniversary of hip-hop, which I support, but we cannot let it go undiscussed. We would be remiss in our duties as black people if we did not shine the light on all the negativity that hip-hop has brought into the black community. We must shine a light on all the negativity that hip-hop has brought into the black community. I said we must shine a light on all the negativity that hip-hop has brought into the black community. Come on, brothers and sisters. I want to talk to my sister Carly Russell next. I want to go down to Alabama one time and talk to my sister Carly Russell. Sister Carly, I need you to hear your brother right now. I'm not here to beat you up, Sister Carly Russell. I'm not here to beat you up, Sister Carly Russell. You are my young sister, and I love you as a young sister. Much respect to your mother, much respect to your father, a strong black family, still married, still together. I appreciate that. I applaud that. But Sister Carly Russell, I got something I need to say to you, my beautiful Alabama princess. I understand that you had some issues with your baby daddy, your boyfriend, soon-to-be father. I understand that you was going through some relationship issues. And I know sometimes when the sisters go through some relationship issues, y'all can get a little out of pocket with the strategies y'all employ to get your significant other's attention. I understand that. I understand that. I understand we can all be a little immature in the way we address romantic issues, Sister Carly Russell. I can understand that. But Sister Carly, I need you to understand something, sister. In 2020, 250,000 women went missing in America. In 2020, 250,000 women went missing in America, Sister Carly Russell. Of that number, 40%, more than 100,000 of them were black women. Sister Carly Russell, are you listening to me right now? Sister Carly Russell, I need you to listen to me right now, sweetheart, because I need you to understand what you just did. I need you to understand what you just did. I'm going to say it again, Sister Carly. In 2020, 250,000 women were kidnapped, abducted, sex trafficked, raped and killed, sold away. And of that 250,000, 40% were black women. That's more than 100,000, Sister Carly. That's more than 100,000. Sister Carly, don't you ever again in your life play games with the kidnapping of black women. Don't you ever do that again in your life. Don't you ever again play games with the sex trafficking of our sisters again. You were out of place. Your behavior was uncondonable. It was repulsive. It was disrespectful. And it was ignorant. And I'm going to ask you to never do that again. That was conduct unbecoming a young lady such as yourself. Don't ever do that again. You are playing with the safety of black women all over this country. Sister Carly Russell, you are playing with the safety and the security and life of black women all over this country. I wish you would have had something better you could have done to get that young man's attention. For you to call the police and act like you got abducted, for you to call the police and act like you got abducted, that is one of the most selfish things a black woman can do. Sister Carly, you are part of the sisterhood. You are part of the queendom of African women in this country. African women are only 13% of the American population. African women are only 13% of the American population. African women are only 13% of the American population, but they are more than 40% of those who are raped, kidnapped, killed, abducted, organ trafficked, and sex trafficked. There's a war on black women, Sister Carly Russell. You owe your sisters an apology. I do not want my sister going to jail. So for all y'all saying she need to be prosecuted and persecuted, I disagree with you. Don't no black woman belong in there. I don't want to see her in prison for that. She made a big mistake and she needs to account and atone to the black community. Sister Carly made a big mistake and she needs to account and atone to the black community, but I do not want her persecuted or prosecuted. I don't want her charged. I don't want her indicted, and I don't want her convicted. And I rebuke any of you who are trying to push that on that young sister. Because guess what? Our women are sexually trafficked inside the prison also. Black women are sexually trafficked inside the prison also. So why would any black woman or any black man would want Sister Carly arrested and in prison? I don't support that narrative at all. I do not support bringing white people in to punish black people. We must do this ourselves. Sister Carly, you owe us an apology, sister. And I hope your parents are honorable enough to make you give that apology to black women and the black community all over this country. You owe an apology to the queendom. That's all I want, is a public apology to the queendom. I want a public apology for the sisterhood, Sister Carly. You owe black women that. Don't you dare play with our safety like that. Because what you did, Sister Carly, and I'm not beating you up, I love you. When I see you in Alabama, I'm going to give you a big hug and just say, baby, don't do that no more. Don't you play with the safety and security of black women like that. Because what you did, Sister Carly, is you just gave the white media an out. What you did, Sister Carly, you just gave the white media an out. What you did, Sister Carly, you just gave white media an out. You just gave white media an excuse not to cover the kidnapping of black women. You just gave white media an excuse not to discuss the sexual abuse of black women. You just gave the white media an excuse to not print stories and publish stories on the kidnapping, the abduction, and the sexual trafficking of black women and black girls. They can say black women are not serious. They play games when it comes to abduction. Black women are not serious. They play games when it comes to sexual trafficking. They can say black women are not serious. Look what we did with Carly Russell. We covered her. We pushed her. Black people had you on every social media page. You was on our Instagram, Sister Carly. You was on our Twitter, our TikTok, our Facebook, our website. And then we wake up and turn around and find out it was a damn joke. Don't you do that again, Sister Carly. That was wrong. Don't you do that again, Sister Carly. That was wrong. You owe black women an apology. You owe black women an apology. 13% of the population, 40% of those who are being abused, raped, abducted, killed, kidnapped, and sex trafficked. Sister Carly, how dare you play a game with the sexual abductions and abuse and sexual trafficking of black women? You was wrong. You was wrong. Sister Carly, you owe black women an apology. You were wrong. Let me move on. Our good brother in Philadelphia, co-host of one of the top hip-hop podcasts in the world, lost his son to senseless violence the night before last. Lost his son to senseless violence the night before last. My condolences go out to him, his co-hosts, his queen, his children, his aunts, his uncles. The whole Philadelphia is hurting for him right now. The whole Philadelphia is hurting for him right now. But what I find absolutely unforgivable, deplorable, disgusting, conduct unbecoming black men is to see all these social media opportunists to go on YouTube and see all these social media opportunists use this man's loss of a son. Use this man's loss of a son as an opportunity to attack him, belittle him, malign him, persecute him in the public while he's trying to mourn the loss of his son. What has happened to masculinity in the black community? What has happened to masculinity in the black community? What has happened to masculinity in the black community when on the very day, the first 24 hours that this man was met with the shock of losing his oldest son, you social media opportunists jump on YouTube and do hours worth of content filled with slander, baseless accusations, indictments without facts, conspiracy theories with no basis or connection to the evidence of the crime scene. Is that what we doing now, black men? Is that what we doing right now? Are you really telling me that we don't even have the respect to give somebody time to process the loss of a child on the same day they lost the child? I mean, I know you social media YouTubians are thirsty for views. I understand the YouTubian culture because I've been an object of its slander. I understand how the YouTubian community operates. But can we have no principles? Can we have no morals? Can we have no rules of conduct? Can we not create some principles of solidarity? And this wasn't mostly black women. This was black men slandering a black man. This was black men slandering a black man. I mean, my God. Accused him of everything under the sun without an ounce of proof. Are you that thirsty for views? Are you that thirsty for likes? Are you that thirsty for clicks? Are you that pressed for YouTube dollars that you can't even give the man 24 hours of peace? Y'all went on the attack immediately. I can't imagine what he going through right now. I can't imagine what he going through. You're not even giving me a minute to process the loss of my child, and y'all slandering me and attacking me and belittling me. Let me ask you a question. I'm about to wrap this up. Miami, I'll see you next Saturday. Miami, I will see you next Saturday. Chicago, I will see you next Sunday. But let me say this. Miami, I will see you next Saturday. In Chicago, I will see you next Sunday. Petersburg, Virginia, I will see you on August the 20th. Petersburg, Virginia, I will see you on August the 20th. Petersburg, Virginia, I will see you on August the 20th. Nat Turnerland on August the 21st. NatTurnerLibrary.com. If you need the flyers, hit me up. But here's my question I want to ask you. I don't know what is the bigger problem. Gangster rap or social media, brothers and sisters? Can we take a vote right now? Can we do a straw poll, brothers and sisters? What is the bigger problem in the black community? Gangster rap or social media? I don't know which one is worse. I don't know which one is worse. Gangster rap or social media? Which one is worse, brothers and sisters? I'm asking a question. I'm asking a question because gangster rap is definitely the devil, and YouTube is also the devil. Which is worse, social media or gangster rap, brothers and sisters? I am the biggest non-entertainment name on social media. I only go live when I have something to teach. If I don't have anything constructive or productive to offer the global African family, I keep my mouth shut. But you Negroes are addicted to being seen and heard on social media. And the sad part about your social media addiction is you don't even have anything useful to offer the people. Some of you go live every day, every other day, every 3 days. Some of you go live 3 and 4 times a day with nothing constructive to offer anybody who looks like you. You got 60 and 70-year-old grandmoms twerking on Instagram and TikTok, 60 years old, shaking your loose goose in front of the whole world. Can we have a little bit of class? Can we have a little bit of class? You got elderly black men, 60 and 70, talking about the art of fellatio on social media. 60 and 70 years old talking about the art of fellatio. You old enough to be you are a grandfather and a great-grandfather. Come on, y'all. Come on now. And when people fight, instead of breaking up the fights, we film the fights. We don't intervene in conflict in the black community. We promote the conflict, and then we turn around and talk about the gangster rappers are contributing to the violence. What about social media's impact on black crime? When we going to have that conversation? Social media's impact on black crime. When are we going to have that conversation? What about social media's impact on black crime? When are we going to have that conversation? The Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy can't get here fast enough. The Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy can't get here fast enough. The Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy can't get here fast enough. We're going to be having all kind of conversations. We're going to be having all kind of conversations. We're going to be having all kinds of conversations at the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy. I had to go live on this first day of Leo season 2023. I had to go live on this first day of Leo season 2023. Brothers and sisters, listen. As far as them two on that podcast, I'm not even thinking about them. I'm not even thinking about them. See, what I'm not going to do is use my brand, my name, and my platform to drive traffic to any social media platform that is about the persecution, destruction, sabotage, and slander of black men, black women, or any branch of the African family. I will not do that. I will not do that. If you slandering continental Africans, I can't come on your platform. You slandering American Africans, I can't come on your platform. You slandering Caribbean Africans, I can't come on your platform. You slandering South American and Central American Africans, I'm not coming on your platform. You slandering Canadian Africans, Australian Africans, South Pacific Africans, I'm not coming on your platform. You slandering my African brothers and sisters throughout the continent of Europe, I can't rock with you. You slandering the Africans in Asia, I'm not rocking with you, brothers and sisters. You're not going to use my name and my fame. You're not going to use my name and my fame to drive traffic to a degenerate social media YouTube platform. We're not doing that. We are not doing that. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. Half of you haven't even donated to the Frederick Douglass and Marcus Garvey Academy, but you want to interview. You want to interview with the top black consciousness personality in the world. You want an interview with the #1 Pan-Africanist of the 21st century. You want an interview with one of the top 10 black orators in history. It don't work that easy, brothers and sisters. It don't work that easy, brothers and sisters. If you ain't got nothing constructive to offer the people, I'm not using my name and my fame to drive traffic to your page. Let me talk about the 𝚂𝚄𝙱𝚂𝙺 situation one time. Let me talk about the 𝚂𝚂𝙱𝚂𝙺 situation one time. Let me talk about the 𝚂𝚂𝙱𝚂𝙺 situation one time. I don't condone my sister's content. I don't support my sister's content. I will not make excuses for my sister's content. I'm simply saying that if the Queen is interested in making a transformation in her agenda, I am willing to aid her in that work. I am not going to cancel her, because some of you hypocrites have overlooked popular people in our community who have done worse than 𝚂𝚂𝙱𝚂𝙺. Let me say this again, because I want you to understand, overstand, and understand me right now. I want you to understand, overstand, and understand what I'm saying, brothers and sisters. I do not condone my sister 𝚂𝚂𝙱𝚂𝙺's content. I do not support my sister 𝚂𝚂𝙱𝚂𝙺's content. I will not make excuses for my sister 𝚂𝚂𝙱𝚂𝙺's content. But the sister has as much right to make a mistake and then correct it as you and I do. And many of you who want to cancel her outright have overlooked evil and wrongdoing in the black community that has been worse than what she is doing. How many people we got who have taken the life of other people and we still celebrate them right now? How many in our community have been accused and even have been proven to be pedophiles and we overlooked their behavior because they are celebrities? How many have robbed and stolen and killed and abused elders and women and you overlook their wrong? So all I'm saying, don't be a hypocrite when it comes to the black woman when you have overlooked the sins of black men. All I'm saying is don't be a hypocrite when it comes to black women when you have overlooked the sins of black men. There are black men who have said and done some of the same things 𝚂𝚂𝙸𝙺𝚂𝙸𝙱𝚴 has said and done, and they have not been canceled. All I'm saying is be honest in your criticism. Be balanced in your condemnation. All I'm saying is don't have one set of standards for elite celebrities and a completely separate set of standards for upcoming celebrities. That's all I'm saying, brothers and sisters. That's all I'm saying. When I hear the word cancel her, if that's what you want to do, so be it. But why are you not canceling others who have done as much as her and worse? Why aren't you trying to cancel those who have done as much as her or worse? That's all I'm saying. I'm never going to co-sign negative images that are put before black women and girls. I'm never going to co-sign the sexual objectification of black women. I'm simply saying when you take out your cancel stamp, you should be taking that cancel stamp out for more people than just Sister 𝚂𝚂𝙀𝙀. Has she molested anybody's children? Has she taken anybody's life? Brothers and sisters, let me say, I will meet with anybody. Some of you claim to be Christians. Some of you claim to be Christians. Some of you claim to be followers of the Black Christ, Jesus of Ethiopia. Some of you claim to be followers of the Black Christ, Jesus of Ethiopia. Was not Mary Magdalene a prostitute? Was not Mary Magdalene a prostitute? Did not Jesus, the Black Christ, lift up a prostitute and make her a disciple? Yes or no? Yes or no? And was Sister Mary Magdalene a black woman guilty of worse crimes than Sister 𝚂𝚂𝙀𝙀? So if Jesus the Christ can lift up a black woman and Mary Magdalene and make her a disciple, and some say a wife, according to some gospels, she was made a wife of the Christ. So if the one and only Son of God, as you believe in your religion, if the one and only Son of God can lift up a black woman and Mary Magdalene, a prostitute, if the one and only Son of the living God, Black Jesus the Christ, can lift up a prostitute and turn her into a disciple, and some argue into a wife, if the Son of the living God can turn a prostitute into a wife, why in the hell can't the Prince of Pan-Africanism sit down with my sister 𝚂𝚂𝙀𝙀 and have a private, serious conversation about her impact on the black community and what she could do for the black community if she decided to undergo a radical transformation in the public eye? If the one and only living Son of the one and only living God can do it, If Jesus can have a conversation with Mary Magdalene and elevate her to the level of disciple and wife, don't tell me I can't go to Miami next weekend and sit down and have a conversation with my beautiful sister, 𝚂𝚗𝙱𝚁𝙸𝙱𝚴, about how she and I could work together on a campaign to eliminate the sexual exploitation and abuse of black women. Yes, she would have to make some changes for me to work with her. Yes, she would have to make some changes for me to work with her. Yes, she would have to make some changes for me to work with her. But don't tell me I can entertain the conversation. Don't tell me I can entertain the conversation. Brothers and sisters, let me say this before I close out. This is Leo season, day 1, 2023, and you talking to the SON of the SUN. I said this is Leo season, day 1, 2023, and you're talking to the SON of the SUN. This is Leo season, day 1, 2023, and you are talking to the SON of the SUN. I got a quick message for the black bourgeoisie. I got a quick message for the black middle class and for the black bourgeoisie. You're listening to your brother, Prince of Pan-Africanism. I will be bringing Black to Black parent teleconferences. School is starting up soon. I will be bringing back the Black parent teleconferences. I will be bringing back the Black parent teleconferences for those of you who have issues with your children, autism, ADHD, learning disabilities, emotional disturbances, speech and language, blindness, deafness, brain injuries, conduct disorders, IEPs, psychological evaluation, standardized testings, white teacher racism, report card grade discrimination. The Black parent teleconferences will be returning. The Black parent teleconferences will be returning. But let me say this to the black bourgeoisie and middle class black America before I get up out of here. Let me say this to the black bourgeoisie and the black parent the black bourgeoisie and the black middle class. Not everybody who's black middle class is black bourgeoisie. Not everybody who's black middle class is black bourgeoisie. But let me talk to the black bourgeoisie and the black middle class right now. This is King Kong Consciousness. The African diaspora's Minister of Mental Health and Education. The African diaspora's Minister of Mental Health and Education. The African world's Minister of Mental Health and Education. Right now, the southern states of America are trying to politically disenfranchise our brothers and sisters in the southern states. I'm talking to my Alabama Africans. I'm talking to my Carolina Africans. I'm talking to my Georgia Africans, my Virginia Africans. I'm talking to my Arkansas Africans and my Texas Africans. My Mississippi Africans, my Alabama Africans, my Louisiana Africans, my Tennessee Africans, my Kentucky Africans. You have racist, Republican-dominated state legislatures in collaboration with the Democrats who are in the process of redistricting electoral zones, and they are splitting up the black vote. They are gerrymandering the black vote so that it has no power in upcoming elections. Now, you all know that I am an ardent proponent of only voting if we're going to organize the black vote. If we're not going to organize the black vote, it will make no sense. But when we organize the black vote, we have to make sure that we collaborate, consolidate, and concentrate the black vote in predominantly black electoral districts. And guess what? These races in the southern state legislatures, these races in the northern and midwestern and southern state legislatures are in the process of redistricting black power out of effectiveness. They are redistricting black power out of effectiveness. How does this relate to the black bourgeoisie and the black middle class? How does this relate to the black bourgeoisie and the black middle class? How does this relate to the black You know how it relates? Because the minute a ninja gets 2 master's degrees, he abandons a black community for a wider community. The minute you get a good job, you relocate. You self-gentrify yourself out of the black community into a wider community. You are more interested in living with white people than keeping black power concentrated and consolidated so we can have some control over our political destiny. The racist gerrymandering and the racist redistricting that's happened all over this country is being supported by the black middle class and the black bourgeoisies who keep on moving out the black community. We don't need to move out a black community. We need to move in to a black community. I said we don't need to move out of a black community. We need to move in to a black community. I said we don't need to move out of a black community. We need to move in to a black community, brothers and sisters. You talking to King Kong consciousness somewhere in southeastern Pennsylvania. You're talking to King Kong consciousness. I'm live and direct from somewhere in southeastern Pennsylvania. You're talking to King Kong consciousness, and I'm live and direct somewhere in southeastern Pennsylvania. You don't need to know my whereabouts. What are you, a FBI agent? You don't need to know my whereabouts. What are you, a COINTELPRO agent? You don't need to know my whereabouts. What are you, a CIA agent? You don't need to know my whereabouts. What are you, a Homeland Security agent? Don't worry about where I am. Worry about what I am and what I have to say. That's what's important. That's what's important. We need to gentrify the black community with black bodies. That's what we need to do. Let's gentrify our own communities, meaning let's move back in. We need some reverse gentrification. We need some reverse gentrification. How the hell are you going to be black participating in white flight? How are you going to be black participating in white flight? Somebody explain that to me, please. How are you going to be black participating in white flight? You Negroes have lost your mind. How can a black person participate in white flight out of the black community? Doesn't even make no damn sense, brothers and sisters. So that's what I came on here to say today. 50 years of hip hop, we need to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. 50 years of hip hop, we need to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. We need to talk about this racist gerrymandering and redistricting that's going on all around this country to strip the black people of any political influence. Don't tell me I can't meet with my sister Sukihana. I meet with whoever the hell I want to meet with. The black community has overlooked worse. The black community has overlooked worse. The black community has overlooked much worse than that. Social media is the devil. I wish I could cancel it because y'all not using it for anything positive. Social media is the devil. I wish I could cancel it. Y'all not using it for anything positive. New York City, I will see you on Garvey Day, August the 17th. New York City, I will see you on Garvey Day, August the 17th in Harlem at the Alhambra Ballroom. The Alhambra Ballroom. The Alhambra Ballroom, Harlem, New York, August the 17th. We celebrating the greatest of the great. We celebrating the greatest of the great, the most honorable Marcus Messiah Garvey. Petersburg, Virginia, I'll see you August the 20th. Nat Turner, August the 21st. But Leo season will begin in Miami next Saturday the 29th. And Chicago next Sunday, the 30th of July. If you need flyers, you could text my cell 215-989-9858. If you need flyers, you can text my cell 215-989-9858. If you need flyers, you can text my cell 215-989-9858. Please send me flyers if you have any outdoor summer fests. I want to bask under the Leo sun during Leo season. If you having a street festival, a black festival, any type of celebration, black family cookout, community gathering that is outdoors, anywhere in the continental US, I might just pull up to your event. I might just surprise you and pull up to your event and bless the mic. Text me the flyers for your events. 215-989-9858. Oh yes. Birthday gifts, y'all know where to send them at. P.O. Box 6872, Philadelphia. All Dr. 𝚂𝚂𝚁𝙸𝙺𝚴 solar return gifts. All my black apparel companies, if you want me to rock your black apparel, send me a 2XL for the shirts. 2XL, I might could get in an XL if it's cut big. 3XL is a little large, but I can do a 3 if you ain't got a 2XL. 42 waist, 32 long with the pants. 42 waist, 32 long with the pants. Size 12 or 13 in the shoe. 2XL in the shirts. I forget my fitted cap size. P.O. Box 6872, Philadelphia, PA. Or you could bring my solar return gift to me on my solar return at Nat Turner Land. You could bring my solar return gift to me at my solar return Nat Turner Land on August the 21st. I'm signing out. That's all I wanted to say. Shout out to my Leos, my lionesses. Shout out to the Honorable Marcus Garvey, His Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie I, the great Emperor Menelik II, the Queen of Pan-Africanism Anna Julia Cooper, the scholar of Pan-Africanism Dr. Edward Wilmot Blyden, and of course King Kong Consciousness himself. We are the 6 saviors of Leo season. Peace and Pan-Africanism.